Well, Gaffer, Sunderland away, what kind of problems can that present?
Well, I don't know. We'll wait and see on Saturday, but it's a great game, one that you always look at. Obviously, I'd prefer it if the supporters were in the stadium, but they're not. But it's going to be a really good game. We're all looking forward to it. A fantastic stadium, good team, one you would expect to put it probably up there. A lot of different variations to their strikers. Got a lot of attacking players, so yeah, we look forward to it.
Yeah, and say they've got experienced players throughout their ranks and an experienced management team as well.
Yeah, they have. Phil and Steve, and very experienced. Had good success in the past, and they've got some experienced players right the way through their team. So, but it's going to be a tough game. You're going to Sunderland, playing them, whether you're playing them home or away. It's going to be a tough game.
Have you enjoyed the last couple of weeks in the sense that during the week you've been able to actually get some training time? Because coming up we're going to have loads of fixtures congested during pre-season. There was a lot of congested fixtures. At least you've had a couple of weeks to sort of spend some time with the players, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting knocked out by Cheltenham in the first round made it that we were going to have a period of time without any Tuesday night games. We've arranged friendlies for the players that needed the minutes. They all came through that, I think, fairly well on Tuesday. There's another game next Tuesday, because it's important that we continue trying to get games into the other players that are not playing regularly. But we have to use this time valuably in terms of once we get through to October, it's Saturday, Tuesdays quite consistently. So yeah, I think it's important that we get all the work in we can. It does make it easier when you go Saturday to Saturday. You tend to find you probably, if you've got practice matches on the Tuesday, you work with smaller groups, so tactically you can maybe get a bit more work in. But no, it's been a good week. Monday morning the lads were bubbly, as you would expect, after a very good win against Fleetwood.
And that Tuesday game against Bournemouth, a really strong Bournemouth side who obviously preparing for their own campaign. And did that good work out all round?
It was. We knew it'd be tough. They were at it. Physically, they were too strong for us in the first half, mainly because we didn't move the ball quick enough. But we had a strong team. Second half, we were far better when we got a bit more intensity into the possession of the ball, and a far better performance. So yeah, there's always good and bad to take out of every game, and that one was no different. But in terms of what the players needed, fitness-wise, it was a very important game. We've got another game next Tuesday as well. So I think it's important everyone gets the minutes, because we're going to need everyone over the course of the season.
Looks like supporters are not going to be in for quite some time, and obviously that's frustrating for everybody concerned. I guess as a manager, you've just got to get used to the surroundings as you have in the first couple of weeks, because it does seem like it's going to be like that for a while. Yeah,
I mean, one or two things that have come out of the games we've had in the league anyway is, you can hear everything that's said in the touchline. You have to be mindful of that. You have to try and control that a little bit. When I say that, I mean with yourselves, but also try and control what the opposition are doing as well. But yeah, I mean, look, the situation is not good. It's not ideal for football as a whole, in terms of if we're not going to have any crowds in perhaps till March. I don't know when it's going to be, when none of us do. Then clearly, financially, the game's going to suffer. Clubs are going to suffer. So hopefully we get some sort of help, especially clubs at our level and the level below. But I would imagine all the way through football it's going to suffer. So hopefully there's a bit of a bailout from somewhere, because otherwise it's going to lead to some serious problems and clubs probably not being able to survive. In terms of dealing with that on a match day, the players, the more games you have, the more you'll come accustomed to it. So we just have to go on with it. But I am fearful in terms of what it does for the overall game, if we don't obviously get some financial help.
It's already affecting you in terms of the younger players who you probably wanted to go out to National League level without knowing when their season's going to start. That's probably impacting on their game time.
Well, it certainly has. We've had conversations about that after obviously the news broke this week from the government. So we have to look at that carefully. We have to see if the league actually starts. One would doubt it will. So then obviously we have to then look at getting them out on loan at step 3 level, which is the highest level they can then play at. So we're making inroads into that. I think it's going to be, excuse me, I think it's going to be very important that we get football into them on a Saturday, because clearly the numbers are too big, and if they don't make the squad, they have to play football.
Yeah, you've had a lot of challenges in your managerial career. Is this the biggest in terms of dealing with so many things that you can't really affect?
I think it is a challenge. I think it is. I think in terms of even things like video meetings, you know, we can't get all the players into the one meeting, and we have to. The logistics of that, having 2 different meetings, can be a challenge in the sense that, you know, there's so many numbers. So we've had to change 1 or 2 things in terms of the 2 away games we've had have been long distance, so we've had to travel on the Friday, so we're changing the time we're travelling at, so we're not spending so much time in the hotel. Also the fact that, you know, the 2 games we've been to, Accrington, we were in Blackburn, which is really bad, Durham was really bad, Sunderland is, so all these things come into it. But of course we can't go on a Saturday morning because it's too risky, you know, in terms of, you know, if there's an accident or something happens with the bus, it's just too risky. We have to be sensible in that, and unfortunately, you know, the chairman and the owners have said, look, you can go and stay overnight, because when we went way back and we were trying to cut money, the overnight stays were off the budget. But clearly the 2 fixes we have, I don't suppose we've got a choice in that. But yeah, there's different challenges to it, but we can't use any of these challenges or it's as any excuse. Everyone's the same. We have to get on with it. I always look at the positives, and the positives for me is I've got a very good squad of players who will hopefully go into the Sunderland game, or should do, with a lot more confidence, given the fact that they've beat one of their challenges, and the way we won it was very important.
In terms of injuries, Ricky J. Jones got minutes, I think, on Tuesday, so is he almost ready to start if required?
So Ricky took a knock quite early in the game and continued playing, as young players do, and we have to just be mindful of and give him. I'll have a word with him about a bit of common sense, because it could have led to a worse situation. He'll be fit. He'll be fit. He'll train today, given that he only played 45 minutes. All the other ones that came through, Mason took a knock, but fine. Boyd, bit of cramp, bit of a problem with his glute, fine. Naismith came through an hour, fine. Brown, Hamilton, no problems. Burrows, no problems. So it was good minutes for them, and it was a real good fitness test for them. So yeah, there's no problems for everyone. I'll touch wood. Blake Tracy's training today, so should have everyone fit.
Somebody's birthday today. Has he brought in some decent
I didn't know it was. I'll go and check. I've been busy in here, so I'm going to go out now and I'll see what Sammy's up to. I'm sure he'll have produced some good cakes.